On Holy Saturday, it is a tradition in the church to dedicate a morning's reflection to Mary. It is true that devotion to Mary today is growing because people are able to see the value of this wonderful woman in the plan of God's salvation. And even though none of the evangelists speak of Jesus meeting his mother on the way to Calvary, John speaks of Mary standing with the beloved disciple at the foot of the cross. John mentions Mary twice in his gospel. The first time when she intervenes at the marriage of Cana. The first public appearance of Jesus in Cana, the first sign that Jesus works in Cana, and Mary is present there. And she is present at the foot of the cross, the last event in the life of the earthly Jesus before he can ascend to the Father. Very likely, by putting these two incidents, one at the beginning and one at the end, the evangelist John is saying that Mary was that person who began the ministry of Jesus, was with him throughout his ministry, and is now with him as he leaves this world. The other evangelists, Matthew and Mark, mention Mary, though not as much as one would have liked. Luke, of course, speaks of Mary as the origin, as the vessel, as that instrument which God uses to bring his Son into the world. He also mentions in his gospel the prophecy of Simeon, where Simeon speaks about a sword piercing Mary's own heart, referring possibly to the fact that her son would be crucified. Luke refers to Mary as that person who does God's will, as that person who is so attuned with what God wants her to do that she is constantly obeying that will. Luke refers to Mary as the one who said at the Annunciation, "Let it be done to me according to your will." So what are the qualities of Mary? Qualities that we can assimilate for our reflection not only today, but for the rest of our lives. And the first of these qualities, without a doubt, is the quality of receptivity. Another word for receptivity might be openness. And this becomes evident that when the angel announces to Mary that she is to be the mother of God, Mary is open. However, receptivity and openness does not mean that one will not question. Receptivity and openness does not mean that one will not dialogue. Receptivity and openness does not mean that one will not ask for clarifications. It means all of this. However, after the clarification has been given, after the answer has been given, then receptivity and openness means accepting even if one cannot fully understand the answer, even if rationally the answer might not make sense. Receptivity and openness means that I'm willing to cede the initiative to God. It means I'm willing to trust that God is doing what God is doing because it is good for me and good for others. Another quality of Mary is the quality of discernment. Luke will tell us that when Mary listened, she pondered those words in her heart. I would like to interpret the pondering of Mary in terms of discernment. What is the meaning of discernment? Discernment is exactly the opposite of impetuousness. Because impetuousness will move me to make decisions which are immediate, which are possibly harmful to me, decisions which are made from my emotions. Discernment, being the opposite of impetuousness, means that I will act with equanimity. I will act after listening, after praying, after hearing, after discussion, and I will act in that frame of mind in which I am in a balance. I will avoid acting merely from my emotions, and especially when important decisions have to be made, then discernment is called for. One rule that I would suggest to all of us is to avoid making important decisions whenever one is very upset or when one is very excited, because more often than not, those decisions will not be the best. So if you are excited or if you are upset, hold on for some time till that feeling passes away, till that excitement becomes less. Weigh the pros and cons of a decision. Pray about those pros and cons. Ask God for enlightenment. Ask God for strength. And then, and only then, decide. This is what Luke means when he says that Mary pondered those words in her heart. A third quality of Mary is perseverance. Perseverance is so very crucial for most of us. There is a phrase in English which says, he or she began with a bang and ended with a whimper. Another way of saying that the person gave up too easily, or that the person did not persevere, or that the person was not consistent. And yet Mary had this quality of perseverance to the highest degree. And it is evident, at least in the Gospel of John, when we notice that she is present with Jesus in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, at his birth and at his death. Perseverance will mean not giving up on your spouse, not giving up on your children, not giving up on your parents, not giving up on life. Perseverance will mean that you will continue to do constantly what you have to do and leave the rest in God's hands. Perseverance will mean that you will hold on tight to the values of honesty and justice even when it seems that everyone else is thriving on dishonesty and injustice. Perseverance will mean that you will walk the narrow path, the narrow road, even when everyone is inviting you to walk the broad path. Perseverance will mean that you will imitate Mary in this regard and be present with Jesus when he works a miracle and is applauded by everyone, and will also mean that you will be with Jesus at the foot of the cross. Another term for perseverance is never giving up. never giving in, never losing hope, never despairing. Another wonderfully beautiful quality of Mary is that of faith. Mary is faithful. Mary is trusting. Mary is believing. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verses 22 to 25, we are given one definition of faith, where Jesus tells his disciples that when they pray, they must believe that what they are praying about or for will be received, and it will be theirs. Mary prayed in that manner. Mary believed in that manner, and that is why Mary is called faithful. Finally, the quality that Mary possessed is of being a mother. When Jesus is on the cross, his words to the beloved disciple are, "Here is your mother." In other words, by handing over his mother to the beloved disciple, Jesus hands her over to all of us who are his beloved disciples. He's asking us to let Mary be our mother, to let Mary be the one who will succor us, to let Mary be the one who will be our inspiration, our intercessor, to let Mary be the one who will plead for us. In the words of the Memorare, it was never known that anyone who fled to Mary's protection was left unaided. And so, as we remain in silence on this day, as we are in contact, in communion, in the presence of Mary, let us ask for her grace. Let us ask for her faith. Let us ask for a gift of discernment. Let us ask for her courage and her strength and her perseverance. Let us ask for her receptivity and openness. And remember, she will be intercessor. She will be guide. She will be that one, in the words of Saint Ignatius, who will place you with her Son.